Welcome to the 2023 Sport Action Films Top 10 Short Track Driver Rankings, brought to you by BSing with Bubba, the podcast, and also Sport Action Films YouTube channel, which you're watching this on. Welcome in Vaughan Crittenden. How do you actually say your last name?
Crittenden.
Crittenden. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
All right, Vaughan, longtime friend. You and I worked together back in 2015, 2016, where you were we were basically doing the same thing way back then, way before its time. But we were using, what were we using back then?
We were doing Fans Choice.
No, I remember Fans Choice. But do you remember the program we were using?
I want to say we were just using Skype.
I think you're right. I think you're 100% correct. Yes, we were using Skype. But basically, Vaughan's been in racing, I want to say your whole life. Why don't you tell everyone, like, your background, Vaughan?
Yeah, so grew up actually in a baseball family. Kind of started liking racing on my own. Started racing go-karts in 2004. And then in 2013, I started helping out Langley Speedway and like social media, their website stuff, as I was finishing up college and looking for a career in motorsports. And from there, started my own video production business, obviously with a heavy emphasis on motorsports throughout. And then in 2017, joined on with Richmond Raceway, worked there for about 3 years, and then went back over to Langley Speedway and was their promoter general manager for 3 years there. And now just kind of moved back over to kind of the freelance motorsports videography side of the business, and doing well.
Well, that's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear. And basically, you're from the Langley area, which is in the heart of Virginia. Yep. A lot of good race car drivers from there. So it's awesome to have your voice, and hopefully you'll give us some good Virginia drivers for the short track ranks. And what better to do than just start going, and why don't you give me your first guy that you want to go over?
So I think the first guy is not just number one guy in the state of Virginia, but arguably the best short track racer in the country statistically this year, and that would be Connor Hall. He was your NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series champion this year, the first out of Langley Speedway to do that. He was just about unbeatable at the track this year. I think he lost twice the entire year out of a 19 to 20 race schedule, which is absurd. He spent the first half of the season also competing full time in car store while he was doing that. Obviously, they eventually got to a point they had to make a decision whether to go for a car store championship or to go for the NASCAR national championship, and they went for the NASCAR route. But he killed it, had a lot of big wins, was very competitive in a lot of other races. So I would say, he was definitely the number one driver in the state of Virginia for sure.
Yeah, Connor Hall had a great year. I was actually at Langley Speedway for his first win ever there in late.
That was a ways back.
So that was a ways back. I was there with Speed 51 back in the day. I'm pretty sure you were there racing karts that night.
Yep. Probably was. Yeah. Probably was.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely were. It was a season finale. I was up there for Lee Pulliam winning his national championship that night. So I believe it was 2017 or 18. Anyway, all right. So moving on to and to follow up with Connor, that's a family-run race team, isn't it?
It is. So that's kind of the cool thing about it is, the car store stuff. I believe Connor was racing with Chad Bryant over there, but at Langley they've always had just their own blue number 77 out of their garage for a while, and that's just what they ran with. Their crew chief Clayton Parrish, another young guy who's got a bright future in late model racing on the crew chief side, did an incredible job with that car, and obviously they have a lot of other help over there as well. But yeah, they were unstoppable.
Okay. All right. Done with number one. Let's move on. Who's next up on your list?
Number two, another guy from Langley is going to be Brendan Butterbean Queen. Another one that, showed a lot of promise this year. If he didn't run out of fuel that one time, it was at Caraway, Tri-County. I can't remember which race that was on Car Store. But whatever one it was, you flip that race around, and we're probably talking about the 2023 Car Store champion, Butterbean Queen. So, he also had a phenomenal year. Obviously, won Thanksgiving Classic. He won Wilkesboro, which is just a phenomenal win for him. He won the Hampton Heat at Langley. So, when it was a big race, he was ready to roll.
Yeah, that was some rotten luck, him running out of gas. I want to say it was Caraway, but I could be wrong. But yeah, you have a great point there. If you flip it around and actually put it on Caden Quapple, who won the championship by only 5 points, which is amazing.
Yeah, I think it was actually Carson with late models. Caden was the
I'm sorry, yep. Carson. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, why don't they name their kids a little bit closer? Like it's like Casey and Corey LaJoy. I appreciate parents doing that. I mean, I'm terrible with that kind of thing. It's a family gift. I get that from my father, but that's okay. Anyway, yeah, Butterbean. Give him the #1 spot in popularity this year because he's brought it a long way. Flo has helped him with that because they're actually showing his personality, which is fantastic for the sport of short track racing.
Yeah, no, Butterbean's someone I've known for a long time before he jumped to Cars Tour this year. He actually was the late model champion all 3 seasons that I was the promoter at Langley, so I didn't know any different than him dominating there. But he's someone I've seen, way back since he was in Legends and in karts at the racetrack. So it's been really cool to kind of see his rise, and especially how popular he has become in the last 2 years or so. He has a bright future in this sport because he's showing that he's popular and he can back it up on the track.
Yeah, well, hopefully like in 5 or 10 years we look back and you and I talk and see each other somewhere down the road at a racetrack and be like, remember when we talked about Butterbean and I asked you about his beginnings because like you said, you were there. Has he always had that personality?
He really has. He's really kind of always been that way. Obviously, he started really young. I saw mistakes he made early on in racing, watched him mature into the driver that he is. But personality wise, that's always been who he's been. And we're just now, everyone else is getting to see it.
That's tremendous because social media allows that, and the equipment and the tools that 5 or 10 years ago short track drivers didn't have because it was so expensive, and you and I know that, basically pre-mortgage on our house and,
yep.
and buying cameras and equipment and stuff like that. It's great to see that more companies and Flow is taking this on, and Sport Action Films now, and hopefully it'll just make short track racing rise higher and higher. So what do you got next for number 3 if you're done with number 2?
Number 3, it definitely starts getting harder because those 2 guys just had such phenomenal years out of Langley. But at the same time, I would say probably Carter Langley out of South Boston, also an incredible year, able to unseat Peyton Sellers at that place and get a championship is also a very rare feat. So, what he's been able to do this year was also really cool to see.
Yeah, to best Peyton Sellers and his team. Those guys always come prepared. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it for years, and they're a terrific outfit. So it was good to see that someone else actually beat Peyton #1, but earned it. Yep. Also, it just wasn't by accident. I mean, that kid seemed very prepared too, and good to see. Do you have any more?
I mean, you can definitely always, if we're sticking to the young guns, I would say from that point on, there's a lot of promise behind those 3 individuals. A lot of drivers that aren't quite known yet, but I'm definitely seeing, a lot of potential in. Obviously, I'm home to Langley, so I see a lot there, and I think of guys like Riley Music, also Cody Bryant are 2 guys in our limited late model division that have also made the jump to late models that's shown a lot of promise. Ryan Matthews is another one that we see a lot from, and I think those are guys at least at the local level between the tracks in Virginia, you're definitely going to get some noise from here in the future.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, and at this time, let's just give a shout out to the podcast BS and with Bubba. Make sure you guys check that out on YouTube, and also make sure you like, comment, subscribe on that channel, and also Sport Action Films, because anything you guys can do to help promote this would much be appreciated. And okay, so 2023 is kind of like in the books. 2024, Vaughan, what are you looking forward to next season?
Looking for this continue meteoric rise that late model racing is having in the region right now and how popular it's become. It's kind of reminiscent and reminding me of like the K&N days back between like 2011, 2012, 2013, that period of time. And you could really make the argument that Cars Tour is kind of operating now in that same space in the development ladder for motorsports. So, if you're looking to really, promote yourself and prove that you're a racer that can be at the top, you're going to be in Cars Tour now. And, we're seeing just a lot of great stories. What the ownership group there has done, but Dale Jr., Kevin Harvick, and the crew has been phenomenal. I'm lucky to be able to kind of play a very, very small role in it when they come to Langley Speedway. So, it's been really cool to just kind of see where the sport has been going the last few years.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Cars Tours is coming back to Langley
this
year.
They will be there June 1st, right in the thick of their season. It was a fantastic, race last year. Connor Hall, won that race. And actually, Butterbean won it the year before. So it's been a Langley local guy 2 years running now that have taken the win there.
Yeah, because they took a couple years off from Langley. Right?
No,
because they used to run there.
No, so
it was
their first race there was in 2019. We were a little late on the bandwagon there when you think of when the Cars Tour started and when it got to Langley. But they've been running there ever since. They did run there in 2020. We ran a later date in the season once everyone got back going. But normally that first weekend in June is when they come to us.
Oh, cool. Is there anything you want to promote on your end of the spectrum?
Sure. Yeah. So my business is Riverdale 24 Productions. I do a lot of video work, for different racetracks and race teams around the area. I've been doing stuff for Richmond Raceway. I do all the video marketing materials for the late model race at Martinsville. I did a recap for Cars Tour of North Wilkesboro, and obviously I do all of Langley's video stuff. And literally sometime next week, I'm going to start editing together their 2023 awards banquet. So staying busy, but definitely I'm open to doing business for the 2024 season.
Yeah, and if you guys want some video stuff done and you're anywhere in the country, I highly recommend Vaughan. He's very professional, very good at what he does. You will have seen his his Twitter handle down in the bottom throughout this interview. So definitely check him out there. Give him a follow. Give Sport Action Films a follow too. But yeah, definitely Vaughan has done some great stuff. We've teamed up because there was a one time in Martinsville where he got the flip that I was looking for, and unfortunately I didn't get it because I was on the other side of the track. But yeah, we've done a lot of work together, and I appreciate all your help in the past, Vaughan. We've had a lot of fun, and we've talked to a lot of people and gone over years and years of racing, and very glad to catch up with you. And hopefully this is something we could do more often, especially when something big at Langley or wherever you are happens.
Yeah, no, thank you for the kind words. It's been great working with you, man, all these years. It's going to be a fantastic year this year. Last year, I was kind of, I was getting married last year, so a lot of my time went to planning that wedding and keeping my fiance happy, but we'll have a lot more time on the weekends this year to kind of be at the racetrack. So looking forward to following it all, and yeah, I'd love to join in more next year.
Sounds great. Well, thanks for joining us. And the 2023 Sport Action Films Top 10 Short Track Racing, our driver ranking is done. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for checking out this latest video on Sport Action Films YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out all the other amazing content that we have here on this channel, as well as BSing with Bubba, the podcast. Please comment, like, subscribe, and definitely do us a favor and share the content that you like. Would love to have more people on here checking us out. Short track racing at its best, highlighting all the drivers, all the racers, and even the people behind the scenes. Thanks again for watching.